The 2021 New South Wales Architecture Awards are proudly supported by BlueScope, Dulux, Brickworks, Lysart, Fielders, Bondor, Bosch, Built Environment Channel, NBS, Plant Cover, and Architecture Media.
Well, hello everyone and welcome to the 2021 New South Wales Architecture Awards. I'm your host, Viv O'Connell, and it's my pleasure to be joining you once again for this celebration of great architecture across the state. To begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we're all gathered this evening, wherever we may be, and pay my respect to elders and community as continuing custodians of their rich cultural heritage. Well, we are of course coming to you live once again, and we have a very big night ahead. 12 awards categories, 3 prize announcements, and we'll finish the night with the New South Wales Architecture Medallion. Now, some background if you're joining us for the very first time. There are 3 types of acknowledgements in each of the awards categories tonight. Commendations, which are recognitions of excellence. Awards, which are bestowed on exemplary work and are then in the running for a National Architecture Award. And then there's the named awards, which are the highest honour in each category. And while I'm sure we'd all rather be celebrating together at a live event tonight, we will be connecting with the recipients of the prizes and the named awards for a quick chat tonight. So if you're on the shortlist and you've given us your Skype details, please keep an eye out for our call. And now, to get the night underway, I'd like to hand over to the New South Wales Chapter President, Laura Cockburn.
Hello from Castle Hill Station, on the Metro Northwest by Hassel, Turpin Crawford Studio and McGregor Westlake Architecture, which took out the 2020 Lloyd Rees Award for Urban Design. Welcome to the 2021 New South Wales Architecture Awards announcements. We are thrilled to have you join us from all around the state and across Australia. In the spirit of reconciliation, the Institute would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to the elders past and present of all of those and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. In particular, I acknowledge and pay my respect to the Bidjigal people, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which this station stands. This year has seen a bumper crop of design excellence in New South Wales with nearly 300 entries across 12 categories. Our 26 jurors had the enviable task of visiting well over 100 projects across the state, and then the somewhat less enviable task of determining winners. The variety and quality of the projects entered this year flags an exciting time for architecture in New South Wales, and I wish all the shortlisted entrants the very best of luck. To those receiving accolades tonight, congratulations and good luck as you progress through to the National Awards. To those of you who attained shortlisting, congratulations also, as this in itself is an achievement. And so, to the announcements. Over to you, Viv.
Thank you, Laura. Not only a great message, but some outstanding timing and camera work there as well. Well, we'll kick things off tonight with the announcement of the New South Wales Emerging Architect Prize. This prize recognises an individual or a collaboration's contribution to architectural practice, education, design excellence and community involvement, advancing the profession's role within the public arena. So, without any further ado, the 2021 New South Wales Emerging Architect Prize is awarded to Alexander Symes. Since graduating from the University of New South Wales in 2006, Alexander Symes has been a part of many forums, conferences and mentorship programs, while also producing a diverse portfolio of projects. He has focused on creating a body of work that highlights his personal mission to advance sustainable architecture and is now a qualified passive house designer. Alexander shares his passion for sustainability through lectures, committees and panels, including working with other industry leaders, sharing his wealth of knowledge with future generations to come. Congratulations, Alexander Symes. And I am delighted to be joined now live by Alex Symes and the family. Congratulations, Alex. How nice to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too, Viv.
Now, I've had the pleasure of being in some of the projects that we saw in your citation there. And as we heard in the jury's citation, obviously sustainability is a core component of your practice. Can you tell us what it is that you love about the work that you do?
I think sustainability is the core driver within our work just because of its existential impact on our future. So our work is really about how do you get the technical stuff of the sustainability right and make sure that you're actually having a lower environmental impact. And then the next layer on top of that is how do you make it sexy or fun or really provocative. So, and hopefully sometimes you can do all of those at once.
Excellent. And I can hear a few pings there on the Skype line. I'm gathering these messages of congratulations from your peers. Am I right?
I don't know how to use Skype, so apologies. Yeah.
Look, can I ask if there's anyone that you'd like to acknowledge or thank Alex?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose firstly my beautiful family, but the jurors, all our colleagues and collaborators and clients. Creating architecture is definitely a team effort, and we're continually part of teams that are learning and trying to evolve what we do. So just thank you to everyone, and good luck to everyone tonight.
Excellent. And Alex, you now are, of course, in the running for the National Emerging Architect Prize, which will be announced later in the year in November. So all the very best with that. And on that note, I think I'm going to let you and the family go and enjoy the rest of the night.
Perfect. Thank you.
And now to the City of Sydney Lord Mayor's Prize, which is awarded to a project that improves the quality of the public domain through architectural or urban design excellence. And we will be crossing live for some acceptance comments for this prize as well, so keep an eye out for the call. The Lord Mayor selects the prize recipient, and so for the announcement, it's my pleasure to hand over to the Honourable Clover Moore, City of Sydney Lord Mayor.
Thank you and hello everyone. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of our land, part of the oldest living culture on earth. And I pay my respects to their elders, both past and present, and acknowledge the people of the many nations who live in our city. Well, this year the 2021 Lord Mayor's Prize will be shared by two outstanding projects that are as much about the new public places they create as they are individual works of architectural design. This prize celebrates the work of architects as placemakers and collaborators that go beyond the design just of buildings and bring a new life and joy to urbanised situations. This year, 5 projects were shortlisted for the prize by Graham Yarn, our Director of City Planning, Development and Transport. They include Infinity by Koichi Takada Architects, with its north opening public courtyard and dramatic shape to improve solar access to our library plaza, particularly in winter. And then Arcadia by DKO Architecture, Breadth Architecture and Oculus, and its generous green contextual fit. And UTS Central by JFMT, addressing both Broadway and Alumni Green. Although a tough decision, 2 were selected as joint winners, 1 private and 1 public, that really deliver great public domain outcomes. The first is Crown Group's Waterfall on O'Day Avenue in Waterloo, designed by architects SJB. Where once was industrial sheds, this land has been transformed into a visual extension of Joynton Avenue, known as the Rope Walk. The project creates a north-south landscape connection between Zetland Green Square and the Lachlan Precinct, one of 4 public realm dedications associated with this project. On O'Day Avenue, the design inflects to nurture a mature fig tree, and boardwalks are cleverly incorporated to bridge routes and minimise structural damage. The inclusion of ground-level retail to the boardwalks and a well-resolved relationship of 4 interconnected buildings marked by an elegant tower makes this project an exemplar of how residential development is the key to the creation and dedication of valuable public space which we enjoyed by the public for generations to come. Our second winner is the new Public Spaces Interfaces brought by Ganyama Park Aquatic and Recreation Centre at Zetland, again in Green Square. This is a collaboration between Andrew Burgess Architects and Grimshaw with TCL and the City of Sydney after an international competition. This award recognises the public domain creation and integration on all sides, including the planting and berms to Joynton Avenue, the public edge to Epsom Road residential development, the active playing field with its enclosing ring timber seat edge, and the artworks of Jonathan Jones and Auntie Julie Freeman, evocative of the early water history of the site. The through-site link and access points to the pool, cafe and park are carefully placed to anticipate future light rail, I hope, or a metro stop along Zetland Avenue. Congratulations to everyone involved in both projects, and thank you to all our architects, landscape architects, artists and designers who are helping create a more livable, sustainable and beautiful city.
Well, hear, Clover, and I'm delighted to now be joined by both of the recipients of the Lord Mayor's Prize. I have Adam Haddo from SJB and Andrew Burgess. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
This is hilarious, isn't it, being able to bring everyone together this way? And I'm going to do my best to manage the conversation a little bit. Adam, I might start with you if it's okay. Now, Clover mentioned there that connection to landscape and community is one of the great successes of your project here. Can I ask how important that is to this incredibly fast-growing part of Sydney?
I think it's amazing to be able to work on a project where you can give more to the public realm than you take from it. That actually, as our kind of one of our roles in making cities, is to kind of obviously fulfil our clients' desires, but also the capacity for us to be able to deliver something for the public good, which is, well and truly beyond the realm of what the brief was. I think, it's incredibly fulfilling as an architect to be able to walk past the project and see that afterwards.
And Andrew Burgess, over to you on your extraordinary project. And we heard there from Clover that you've drawn inspiration here from Sydney's beach and harbour pools to create this extraordinary gift to the public domain in Sydney. Can I ask you what it was like to work on this great project?
Well, it was a long one, but it was. It was a fantastic project. There was this inherent sort of civic generosity in the actual brief of the project, and we were also very conscious that it, involved a context that was really emerging and very much surrounded by a lot of high density areas. So we really wanted to kind of rethink what the aquatic centre was in terms of how it makes spaces, just to enjoy the pleasures of swimming.
And obviously,
in a much more kind of.
Sorry, you go.
Just in a much more, not just about sort of doing laps, but just enjoying the pool, enjoying swimming, and enjoying being beside the pool, just as a way to escape that kind of strata living, I guess.
Yeah, very important part of inner city living. And your project, obviously a collaboration with Taylor Cullity, Lethlean, who were your other partners? Grimshaw, obviously, and the City of Sydney.
Grimshaw was a key partner. It was very much a collaboration, and then also we worked closely with all the design managers at City of Sydney. So it was very much a team effort in that sense.
Excellent. And Adam at SJB, back to you. Do you have a message for your client about receiving this award tonight?
I think in the end, great projects are because you have great clients, great collaborators, great team. the people of the city made our lives, infinitely easier by kind of embracing the kind of contextual idea of the project. But to Crown Group, I think a really amazing client who wants to invest in that idea of public domain and supported us through that process. So I think, super important, but also to Taylor Brammer, who are the landscape architects who, the main idea of getting deep soil at the centre of the site has really enabled, fantastic growth into the public domain. I really thank the whole project team for that.
Excellent. And Andrew, just a wrap-up comment from you. Can I ask what you hope, the legacy of your project will be for the people of Sydney?
I guess it's really creating a kind of recreational heart in that sort of Green Square area. I think that the City of Sydney's invested heavily in making a social and public infrastructure in the area, and I guess just trying to do that really well has been a very sort of inspiring part of our work on the project.
Excellent. Well, congratulations to you both on your outstanding projects. I'm going to leave you guys now to enjoy the rest of the night.
Thanks so much. Enjoy, everyone. Well done, Andrew.
Cheers, you too, Adam.
3, 2, 1.
Hi.
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 We're the Cockburn Architects.
Hi, we're Nettleton Tribe.
And you're watching the New South Wales Architecture Awards. Yay!
Well, a few of our favourite shout-outs from 2020 there, and the 2021 series is coming up throughout the night. And now to the award for Enduring Architecture, which celebrates buildings of outstanding merit that continue to be important as high-quality works of architecture. Laura Cockburn chaired this jury, and she was joined by Dr. Jennifer Preston, Peter Sulhani and Susan O'Neill. And the jury have awarded the 2021 Enduring Architecture Award to MLC Building by Bates Smart and McCutcheon. North Sydney's MLC building has proven an important piece of post-war international-style architecture. Designed by Sir Walter Paul Osborne McCutcheon, the building looked outward to the global international style of architecture, adapting this to the location to ensure maximum benefit for the building users. In addition to the MLC building being the first high-rise in North Sydney, McCutcheon utilised a multitude of Australian-first design and construction techniques. Now listed as a State Heritage item on the New South Wales State Heritage Register, the MLC building is a benchmark of innovative and practical high-rise design. A most worthy recipient of the 2021 New South Wales Enduring Architecture Award. And now, as we head into the main awards categories, the New South Wales Chair of Juries, Peter Mould, has sent through this message.
Good evening, everyone. The 2021 awards allow us yet again to celebrate the talent and invention that architects bring to their work. Each year, the Institute is presented with a wide array of responsive and responsible projects, and each year, juries confront the difficult task of reviewing and debating which projects to award. It was good that this year they could once again visit sites to see the real projects after the virtual review of last year. Our 25 jurors, under the keen guidance of their chairs, have reviewed 265 entries across 11 categories and visited 121 sites, like the one behind me. As always, the projects this year varied greatly in complexity, scope, and the ideas that framed them. Each jury had to wrestle with the always difficult choices of awarding the best among many outstanding and often diverse projects. The jury chairs came together to collectively debate the award of the New South Wales Architecture Medallion, the Blacket, the COLORBOND Awards. For the Blacket, they were joined by the Country Division representative, and for the COLORBOND Award by representatives of BlueScope Steel. The decision-making for these awards was undertaken under the guidance of myself as chair of juries, but I do not vote. I'd like to thank the juries for the time and rigour they put into this year's awards. These awards allow us to share the profession's achievements with each other, but also to show the value of design excellence to the broader community. Finally, I must thank the Institute staff for their hard work and forbearance in negotiating so many difficult and at times conflicting issues, which this year included schedules complicated by distance, floods and backburning, and all within very limited timeframes. Congratulations to all this year's award winners for their excellent work and for yet again demonstrating the important contribution architects make to society and to the built environment. Back to you, Viv.
Thanks, Peter. Well, let's get the night underway with the category of heritage. Let's take a look at the shortlisted projects. SRG House by Fox Johnston. Reed House by Hector Abrahams Architects. The Lowy Institute, also by Hector Abrahams Architects. Sydney Theatre Company by Hassel. Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas by Zarnes. Rocky Hill Memorial Museum by Crone with Urbis. Subbase Platypus by Lars Nimmo Architects. 58 Carr Street by McGregor Westlake Architecture. Australian Museum Project Discover by Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. The Hat Factory by Welsh and Major. And Newcastle Visitor Information Centre by EJE Architecture. Well, 11 great projects on the Heritage shortlist there. And in this category, the jury have awarded 3 commendations, 3 awards, and the named award. Commendations for Heritage Creative Adaptation are awarded to Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas by Zarnes. The Lowy Institute by Hector Abrahams Architects. And SRG House by Fox Johnston. Congratulations to the commendation recipients. An award for heritage goes to 58 Carr Street by McGregor Westlake Architecture. This typical 28 apartment building in Coogee was designed in 1964 by Rupert V. Minnett, Cullis Hill, Peterson and Powell Architects. The jury was impressed with the care and delicacy taken with all the technical aspects of conserving this building externally. It is an excellent example of what can be done to give this era of buildings a new life that enhances the public realm as well as the life of its inhabitants. Congratulations, McGregor Westlake Architecture. An award for heritage goes to Subbase Platypus by Lars Nimmo Architects. Subbase Platypus on Neutral Bay has been reinterpreted by opening up areas for better urban design and use for the first time in 150 years. The jury commends the architect's creative and generous approach to opening up as much of the site as possible for safe public access and recreation, improving connections across the site and to the surrounding area, maximising opportunities for public access to the foreshore, as well as conserving and interpreting the site's rich history. Congratulations to Lars Nimmo Architects. And the jury have also given an award for heritage to Reed House by Hector Abrahams Architects. 11-storey Reed House is one of the tallest warehouses in Sydney, designed by renowned Sydney architects Macready and Anderson in 1906. Unsympathetic shop fit-outs and windows were imposed on the building in the 1980s, and now the careful conservation of all stages of the external facade, the lobby, and reinterpretation of the shop fronts of this early 20th century warehouse building are enhancing its contribution to the streetscape of King Street. Congratulations to Hector Abrahams Architects. And the highest honour in this category, the Greenway Award for Heritage, goes to Australian Museum Project Discover by Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. The Australian Museum complex is of state and national significance as the purpose-built location for the nation's largest natural history collections. Founded in 1827, it is the earliest and most intact cultural institution in Australia. The 2020 design overlay reveals sightlines across vast spaces, improving wayfinding, while heritage sandstone previously hidden is unveiled alongside modern inclusions. The design is highly strategic, revealing and celebrating the museum's rich historic layering and creating legibility of movement, vertical and horizontal, while enabling universal public access throughout and enhancing the museum's engagement with William Street. Congratulations, Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. And I'm joined now live by Jo Aegis from Cox. Jo, congratulations and thanks so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much.
And well, we've heard from the jury there, this is a very complex adaptive reuse project. I understand it's also the largest intervention at the Australian Museum. Can you give us a sense of what the museum's vision was for this project?
Well, the project was essentially mandated by the need for a new exhibition space. However, in a sense, we stretched the brief with Kim Mackay and the museum to really strategically rethink the way people circulate through the museum, both horizontally and vertically, to make the museum much more legible and amenable, to create new civic spaces, a large public room, and to, in a sense, which is relevant to this award, I think, reveal and celebrate the heritage.
And I think you've described your partnership with Neeson, Murcutt and Neil as very much a partnership of equals on this project. Can you comment on your collaboration with that practice on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Rachel and Stephen are watching, so hi guys. It has been a totally seamless collaboration in a sense. The two practices, to use Rachel's words, coming together as one. I think collaborations best work when you forget, which individual is from which practice, and it is really just the project team. So the individual practices, to some extent, become an irrelevance, and that certainly has been the case here.
And Jo, can you give us a sense of, I guess, the client's response to this extraordinary outcome that you've delivered?
Well, I had an interaction with Kim Mackay this afternoon, and I know that she's watching as well. And I know the museum and Kim are extremely happy with the outcome. Obviously, they've got a new exhibition space, a much improved museum, much more legible spaces. It's free to visit the museum now. And I think strategically, other than dealing with the past, this project really helps position the museum for the future and is cognizant of further and future amendments as we move forward in time.
Wonderful. Well, a big shout out to the clients who are watching this evening, and congratulations to you as well for commissioning such an outstanding project. And Jo, on that note, I might let you go to enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. Thanks very much. And thank you to everyone on the team, and a shout out to you all. Have a good evening.
And now to the category of sustainable architecture. Let's take a look at the 10 shortlisted projects. Courtyard House by Croffy. Smart Design Studio by Smart Design Studio. UTS Central by FJMT. Original Broadway podium design by DJRD with Lacoste and Stevenson. Gunyama Park Aquatic and Recreation Centre by Andrew Burgess Architects and Grimshaw with TCL in collaboration with City of Sydney. Fern Passive House Apartments by Steele Associates Architects. Porous House by Possible Studio. Minima by Triaz. Cobargo Santa Project by Breathe. Night Sky by Peter Stutchbury Architecture. And Plastic Palace by Raffaello Rosselli. Well, a great range of shortlisted projects for sustainable architecture. And in this category, the jury have awarded 5 commendations, 2 awards, and the named award. The commendations for sustainable architecture are awarded to Plastic Palace by Raffaello Rosselli. Fern Passive House Apartments by Steele Associates Architects. Porous House by Possible Studio. Minima by Triaz. And Courtyard House by Croffy. Congratulations to all of the commendation recipients in sustainable architecture. The first award in this category goes to Night Sky by Peter Stutchbury Architecture. Highly crafted, this project, which acts as both home and observatory, is uniquely raw and embraces only the essentials. The jury commends this small footprint home, which is not only designed to operate passively over all seasons, but which features locally sourced recycled brick and recycled concrete as both the primary and finished materials of this home, where every detail is both exposed and celebrated. Congratulations, Peter Stutchbury Architecture. And the jury have also given an award for sustainable architecture to Cobargo Santa Project by Breathe. From the devastation of the Black Summer bushfires came the need for a new home, resilient to Cobargo's perilous climate future. Throughout the design process with the owners, the architect guided decision-making around matters of sustainability to achieve a home fossil fuel-free in operation, and the jury commends this project as a regional example of an architecture that our future demands. Congratulations to the team at Breathe. And the highest honour in this category, the Milo Dunphy Award for Sustainable Architecture, is awarded to Smart Design Studio by Smart Design Studio. This project challenges the notion of comfort to respond to our evolving climate needs. Thermal comfort has been redefined in the office to accept a broader temperature range, up to 2 degrees warmer and cooler, resulting in a building that utilises a broadly passive system in combination with automated facades, hydronic heating and cooling, and low inertia ceiling fans. The building itself is a model for adaptive reuse, opting for recycling over replacement. The primary and secondary structure of this warehouse were retained, and where new materials were required, they were selected to ensure durability and longevity. Congratulations, Smart Design Studio. And I'm absolutely delighted to be joined now by William Smart from Smart Design Studio, who has perhaps the best background of the live crosses so far. Congratulations, William. How are you?
Thank you very much. It's great to be here and we're really delighted.
Excellent. Now, we've heard a little bit in the jury citation there about this project, which is, of course, your studio. And I understand you set a very high sustainability benchmark from the outset with this project. Can you give us a bit of a sense of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's on many different levels, but the first idea was to retain as much of the existing building as possible. And in this case, we retained 80% of its footprint. We also wanted to make our own energy, which we do entirely. And we have a studio and residence above that that's free of air conditioning.
It's an extraordinary outcome. And the jury also mentioned that your sustainability credentials in this project extend beyond the project itself and into the precinct. I think I read that your team planted 2,000 drought-resistant plants in the area. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I have to thank my mum, my sister and my partner for helping with that. But we put in lots of plants in the street. We've planted 13 trees in the street and continue to expand on that over time.
And I understand also that this project has fed into the practice's interest in developing and testing new designs and new technologies. Can you give us a sense of how that's played out?
Yeah, like doing offices without air conditioning in Sydney is extremely challenging due to the condensation that you can have here. So we really pioneered some of those systems and linked that to a building management system that forecasts the weather in advance, as well as monitors the weather of today. So it's thinking about the future literally, and then also trying to step around some of those big energy hungry elements like air conditioning for buildings. And we hope to take that into our houses and into our other projects.
And is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge or thank, in addition to those people who helped you with the planting, obviously?
Yeah, lots actually. I mean, first I'd like to thank the AIA, the sponsors and the organisers for the event. It's kind of amazing these things happen. Really thankful to the jury for this wonderful award. I'd like to thank our incredible team at Smart Design Studio, especially to Joanne and our consultant team for coming along the ride and trying to do things that push boundaries. And lastly, the construction team on our project was amazing. They helped us they embraced the project, they made it really fun, and they helped us to build what we didn't know how to build and whether that would work. But it was just such a great project, and I'll always remember this project for us.
Oh, well, look, congratulations once again to you and your team, William. It's been lovely to catch up with you, and I'll leave you now to enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Hi, we're ATC, and you're watching the New South Wales Architecture Awards.
Thanks for that message, Alan, Jack and Cottier. And now to small project architecture. Let's take a look at the 7 projects on the shortlist. Broken Camp by Atelier Luke. Cahill Park Cafe and Amenities by Hayball. Plastic Palace by Raffaello Roselli Architects. Guatemala Visitor Amenities by Coney Bear Morrison International with New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service. TAFE Eora Recording Studio by Supercontext. Black Box by BVN. And Nicholson Galleries Chowchak Wing Museum by Studio Plus 3. And in this category, the jury have awarded 2 commendations, 1 award and the named award. The commendations for small project architecture are awarded to Nicholson Galleries Chowchak Wing Museum by Studio Plus 3 and Guatemala Visitor Amenities by Coney Bear Morrison International with New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service. Congratulations to those commendation recipients. An award for small project architecture goes to Broken Camp by Atelier Luke. This outdoor kitchen and dining space both nestles into and floats above the landscape. Simple, elegant details are beautifully executed in robust materials, limited to hardwood, steel and concrete, designed to age in situ, weathering into the site as an extension of the landscape. Broken Camp respects the site's rural heritage with an elegant and beautiful campsite structure and gathering place for the family in years to come. Congratulations to Atelier Luke. And the Robert Woodward Award for Small Project Architecture. The highest honour in this category goes to Plastic Palace by Raffaello Roselli Architects. Plastic Palace began as a temporary summer pavilion for Albury's Murray Art Museum. Constrained by a modest budget and footprint, the architect employed a high level of invention and resourcefulness to repurpose discarded everyday plastic objects from the local plastic recycling industry. This is a project with a powerful community message, yet importantly, the message is not all negative. Not content with completing the temporary pavilion, the architect set about looking for alternative uses for the chipped plastic byproduct of the recycling process, leading to a process for recycling plastic waste into new sheet products. With an extraordinary level of experimentation and innovation, this project has demonstrated the role that architecture can play in addressing wider social issues. Congratulations, Raffaello Roselli Architects. And I'm joined now by Raffaello Roselli. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Very exciting.
Well, thank you for joining us. Now, we heard the short jury citation there. There is a longer form, written one, and they mention your practice's very strong interest in using overlooked or disused materials in projects. Can you give us some background as to how you applied that interest to this project?
Yeah, this project had every constraint. A small budget was primarily the one, but as a short as a temporary building, I wanted to kind of push that small budget as far as possible and make a statement. I mean, not a statement, but a talk about the talk. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting a bit nervous.
That's okay. So am I. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You want to be recycled.
Sorry, you're waiting for me. Yeah, like because it was something temporary, it was only there for a month or two. I wanted it to be reused and something more to come out of it than just a show of some design. So by getting embedded in the community, we got to really learn what was a problem there, and it was that they were great at recycling, collecting this really good, clean, recycled plastic, but China had recently banned the import of plastic. So I kind of saw with a local community there that had really great manufacturing abilities, a way to kind of get the project to highlight, we've got this resource here, can we do something with it in this regional town? Yeah.
Fantastic. And how did the community respond to this project, Raffaello?
I think they probably responded better than if I did it in the centre of Sydney, but it was the centre of their town. And I think as it is the place where things, like these regional towns are where things are produced, really, they got really involved. And so that was people with skills, but what was also nice was the kids coming along and really starting to understand what is a complex geopolitical problem locally. Yeah.
And do you have a message for the people of Albury tonight who commissioned this work?
Oh, Albury is amazing. It really got me to understand a regional town and how much can happen in a regional town and how dynamic these towns are. So yeah, I miss it.
Oh, well, hopefully you can head back there soon, Raffaello. And I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the celebrations at home this evening from the couch. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
And we will be back very shortly after these messages from the award sponsors.
The shape is called a catenary shape, and it's the same shape as holding a string. So if you were to hold a string, it will form an arc, and the arc is called a catenary. If you flip it up the other way, so it goes upwards, the pressure that pushes out equalises with the pressure that pushes down. So gravity is balanced in perfect harmony. And that means that the load of the brick is evenly distributed down to the ground.
Field is made.
Made for the contemporary.
Made for imagination.
Made for style.
Fielders made. Made for inspiration.
When it's time to build, build on quality that's proven in Australia's harsh environment. Build on Lysart, steel roofing and walling. Style. Experience. Excellence. You have it all when you choose Lysart, steel roofing and walling. Insist on the best. Insist on Lysart.
Welcome back, and the next round of announcements are for educational architecture. Let's take a look at the shortlist. UTS Central by FJMT, original Broadway podium design by DJRD with Lacoste and Stevenson. The Athenaeum Winona by Tonkin Silaika Greer Architects. Ainsworth Building, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Macquarie University, by Architectus. Chatham House by Architectural Projects. Little Lane Early Learning Manly by Milton Architects. Barker College Rosewood Centre by Neeson Murcutt and Neil. Ravenswood School for Girls by BVN. Kimberwally, also by BVN. And the Women's College Sybil Centre, Sydney University by M3 Architecture. Well, a great range of educational projects there, and the jury have awarded 2 commendations, 1 award and the named award in this category. The commendations for educational architecture are awarded to the Women's College Sybil Centre, Sydney University by M3 Architecture, and the Athenaeum Winona by Tonkin Zuleika Greer Architects. Well, congratulations to M3 and Tonkin Zuleika Greer Architects. An award for educational architecture goes to Ainsworth Building, Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, Macquarie University by Architectus. This project reinterprets university vernacular to provide a facility that engages with its context while providing users with a unique sensory experience. Sliding out from behind monolithic adjoining buildings, the glazed form provides a crisp contrast to the institutional fabric. Learning spaces are compact but spacious, the warmth of the timber reinforced by rich red carpeting and upholstery, while at night the building glows, revealing both the activity within and the robust timber skeleton. Congratulations, Architectus. And the William E. Kemp Award for Educational Architecture goes to Barker College Rosewood Centre by Neeson Murcutt and Neil. Grounded in country, connection and purpose, this sports facility connects to landscape through form, framing of views and connected spaces. Internally, the vast proportions of the building are mediated through luminous interior light, skillful acoustics and thoughtful details, creating tactile delight and visual intrigue. Rosewood Centre mirrors the values of the school as a contemporary activity space, projecting civic generosity through engagement with its broader physical and cultural environments. Socially conscious, the Rosewood Centre is founded on Indigenous and community awareness, celebrating all participants and every activity. Congratulations, Neeson Murcutt and Neil. And I'm joined now live by Rachel Neeson and Stephen Neil. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, I understand the school has had a presence on this site in Hornsby going back a century or so. Can you give us a sense of what it was they were hoping to achieve with this project?
I think they really wanted to respect their lineage, but show that actually Barker College is a contemporary place. And without it being sort of showy, actually sort of a really, calm response to that. And we were really lucky that we could work in a part of the site that was away from the heritage context, so it wasn't really impacting on those buildings. And instead addressing a beautiful, amazing field that they have, the Rosewood Field.
And all of that looking forward to, well, I suppose looking to the Indigenous occupation of that land as well.
Yes, and the jury makes specific reference to the role of a building as an educator. Can you talk us through how that is playing out in this project?
Yes, certainly. The building really shows its location and its topography through this sort of through this canopy, which is also there to shelter the students. Students can see the light and the shadow through that canopy. And then inside the building is quite raw without being undressed, you know. So it's almost one step beyond the bare minimum to really create sort of comfort for the users and the occupation of it.
And do you have a sense from the client about how the students have embraced these spaces?
Certainly. I mean, Philip Heath, as the principal, has embraced, he's a true humanist, and he's really embraced this forward-looking process of making an architecture that matters for all of his students, for all of his staff, and for all of the community that use this building, and he is finding great pride amongst the school and the students and the staff. You know, when anyone visits this place, really, he's getting wonderful feedback.
There's a lovely anecdote he tells, because he lives in a house close by on a school property actually, and I think he's once or twice, or perhaps every weekend, spends part of his Sundays walking around the building enjoying it. So, you know, lovely to see him enjoying it empty as well as when it's full.
Well, that is a great anecdote, a mark of a great project there. And before I let you go, is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge who was involved in this project?
Oh, we'd really like to acknowledge, of course, our client, Philip Heath's amazing visionary humanist leader, and his team. The builder, Prime Constructions, were really wonderful, and Tamis Jones from our office really led this project and did a fantastic job, supported by probably every person in our office at some point in time.
The full team was really involved in this project. I mean, Tamis held the thing together so wonderfully, and like a dog at a bone, just stayed with the project right the way through. It's, you know, wonderful completion.
And sorry, a last minute call out to 360 Degrees landscape architects, who are really important to the project as well. Beautiful work that they did on the northern side of the building in particular.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, thank you so much for those comments. Congratulations to your client, to the students, and of course to everyone who is involved in this project. And I'll leave you now to enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandra.
I'm John.
We're Possible Studio, coming to you from Paradise, and
we just wanted to say we're thinking of all our friends who are locked down in Sydney. Hope everyone everywhere has a great night.
Thanks for that message, Sandra and John. The Byron hinterland is paradise indeed. And now to the COLORBOND Award for Steel Architecture, supported by the Institute's principal partner, BlueScope.
Out on the patio, we'd sit, and the humidity we'd breathe. We'd watch the lightning crack over cane fields, laugh and think, this is Australia. This is Australia. This is Australia.
COLORBOND, made by Australia.
And to introduce the shortlist in this category, I'd like to hand over to Matthew Wilton from BlueScope.
Thanks, Viv. Hi, everyone. First, I'd like to congratulate all this year's nominees on your amazing projects. On behalf of BlueScope, I thank you for all your support specifying our products like COLORBOND steel and TrueCore steel in your projects. We love to see the creative ways our products are used to address the design challenges, supporting our communities and enhancing the built environment. Ours is a partnership, and we're proud to be the Institute's principal corporate partner, an honour we've enjoyed for 36 years. Over the past year, we've all risen to overcome the challenges by learning, adapting and finding new styles of working. The high standard of your latest projects that celebrate Australian steel is evident. BlueScope takes great pride in supporting and assisting you with projects like these. Unfortunately, we still can't be together face to face. However, we are all here with our passion and spirit to celebrate yet another exciting year in architecture. We'd also like to take this opportunity to mention our latest innovation, an online colour selection resource that we've developed last year specifically to support architects, the COLORBOND Steel Studio. With our new COLORBOND Steel Studio, where you can select from our huge range of over 200 proprietary COLORBOND colours and finishes, all with the durability you have come to trust. Now, let's take a look at the fantastic projects that have been shortlisted for this year's COLORBOND Award for Steel Architecture.
Maitland Regional Athletics Complex by Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. Crackenback House by Casey Brown Architecture. Mystery Bay House by Jack Hawkins Architect with Rob Hawkins. Broken Camp by Atelier Luke. Taronga Zoo, African Savannah by Tonkin Sulaka Greer Architects. And Porous House by Possible Studio. Thanks, Matthew. 6 great projects there. And thanks to BlueScope for your long-standing support of the Institute and this award. This jury includes the chairs of each of the awards categories, and they're joined by BlueScope representatives. And they have awarded the 2021 COLORBOND Award for Steel Architecture to Maitland Regional Athletics Complex by Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. The jury was unanimous in their praise for the Maitland Regional Athletics Complex, recognising that its sophisticated architectural expression relied closely on the structural capabilities of steel. The grandstand's dramatically cantilevered roof, supported on a single row of blade columns, provides unimpeded views of the track, its structural clarity complemented by crisp and coherent detailing. This is an inspirational example of what becomes possible through close collaboration between all project partners, working to realise the full capacities of the site, program and material. Congratulations, Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. And I'm joined now by Murray Wood from Maitland City Council. Murray, so glad you could join us. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a big surprise. Thank you.
Yes, I could see your reaction there when the announcement was made in my little preview monitor, and you did look a bit surprised.
It is, yeah. So it's nice to see this small sort of country town as sort of being recognised for the work that they're doing. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely, Murray. And we heard there that the jury were unanimous in their praise for this project. Can you give us a sense of how much of a game changer is it for the people of Maitland having this facility?
It's a big game changer. It's like the level of the facility. It's been certified by World Athletics, which means that if there's a world record that is achieved on the field, it's official. And in terms of the facility, it's in terms of trying to get as much for as much as you can for as little as you've got. It's a multi-purpose facility where we've really sort of focused on activation outside of the event. So the idea is that it actually is a public space where people can come and sort of bring their children, exercise. We've got the next stage of it has got playgrounds and outdoor gyms. So again, the real focus is trying to activate it and try to get as much use out of it as we can, especially when you've got limited funds out in the region. So you really need to refine, and that's even with the steel and the structure of it. We really did sort of have to refine the design to get the most efficient outcome for the project.
And Murray, you worked with Studio Dot on this project, is that right? It was a collaborative process?
It was. So Studio Dot is a local firm in Maitland, and again, Steele is a fantastic architect, and we've worked together previously in other firms at CKDS, and we got together with this, and Studio Dot as well were provided a real they were a real asset to the project and really did value add. And I think made the difference of it being just an average building to a fantastic building.
Well, it sure is. And can you give us a sense, I don't know if you've been able to observe how the community have responded to it?
It's been overwhelming, fantastic. Over the last couple of months, it's almost been booked out every day with school carnivals, athletics complex. I think we've managed to lock in the national seniors athletics event in the next 12 months. And I really haven't received any negative feedback on it so far. So it's it's a good feeling to know that sort of see, or one, drive past there every day and see it being full of kids and it being used as we thought it would be. So it's great.
Fantastic, Murray. The power of great architecture, particularly in a regional community, being able to deliver such a great result for people. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Been great to chat with you. I'm glad we managed to catch you, and I do hope you have a great night.
Thank you.
The next category is commercial architecture, supported by the Institute's national corporate partner, Lysart. And to introduce the shortlisted projects, I'd like to hand over to Business Development Manager, Will Pereira.
Thanks, Viv. Good evening, everyone. Once again, Lysart are very proud to support the AIA and its members on such an important event in this year's calendar. As Lysart turned 100 years of manufacturing in Australia, it's great to see the innovation and design that's have been put forward for all the architectural awards this year. Having said that, let's take a look at the nominees for commercial architecture.
Smart Design Studio by Smart Design Studio. 73 Miller Street by Fitzpatrick and Partners. Stone and Wood Brewery by Harley Graham Architects. BMW and Mini by SJB. Workshop 21 Harris Street by Bates Smart. Little National Hotel, also by Bates Smart. 2 Ridge Street by Zarnes. Government Workplace by BVN. And 32 Smith Street by Fender Katsoulides. Well, 9 great projects, and thanks for that message, Will. The Commercial Architecture Jury have awarded 2 commendations, 2 awards, and the named award in this category. The commendations for commercial architecture are awarded to BMW and Mini by SJB and Stone and Wood Brewery by Harley Graham Architects. Congratulations to SJB and Harley Graham Architects. An award for commercial architecture goes to Little National Hotel by Bates Smart. This considered urban intervention comprises a 230-room boutique hotel above an existing train station entry and podium building on Clarence Street. Intricate planning and a well-resolved structural concept assist the scheme's deft response to highly challenging site conditions. The rewards of a constructive client relationship and a rigorous design process are evident in the delivery of unique spaces of high architectural quality that are intrinsically aligned to the brief. Congratulations, Bates Smart. And the jury have also given an award in this category to Workshop 21 Harris Street, also by Bates Smart. Setting a new benchmark for contemporary workplace design within the historic western fringe of Sydney's CBD, the building's external form, material and detail respond elegantly to the scale and character of the surrounding iconic warehouses. A strong client, clear vision and skillful team have enabled the creation of an expertly resolved and well-executed commercial workplace to the benefit and vitality of not only its occupants, but also its evolving urban context. A big night for Bates Smart. Congratulations once again. And the Sir Arthur G. Stevenson Award for Commercial Architecture goes to Smart Design Studio by Smart Design Studio. Every detail of this mixed-use commercial space in Alexandria has been rigorously considered by Smart Design Studio. The original warehouse has been meticulously restored with steel windows and detailing to highlight its enduring beauty, and the jury was struck by the quality of light and quiet on entering the large open-plan studio. At the top of the stairs, a series of brick parabolic enclosures intersect with glazed openings to create a reverent space celebrating both art and architecture. As a commercial offering and a contributing element to this burgeoning cultural community, this studio truly establishes an architectural legacy. Congratulations, Smart Design Studio. And it's back to Smart Design Studio and William Smart. Congratulations once again, William. 2 calls in one night.
Thank you again. It's a great, it's really exciting for us to see that, actually.
Look, it certainly is to receive the highest honour, firstly in sustainable and now in the commercial category. It says something about the ability for, I guess, commercial projects to be very heavily embedded in a sustainability agenda, do you think?
Absolutely. I guess it was a core value for us, was to try and push the project to pioneer things that we hadn't done before in terms of construction and also in terms of sustainability, and to embed those concepts within the project at its core.
And I understand longevity is also one of the cornerstones of this project, and the practice is intended to be there for the next several decades. Is that right?
Yeah, in finding the building, we were kind of focused on a new home for us for the next 30 years, which will take me hopefully to retirement. And then therefore we decided that everything we'd bring into the building would last for at least 30 years. And that meant that we chose very durable, robust, in many ways everyday materials to embed in the project.
And can I ask, what is it like to be able to work in this building that you and presumably your team were all involved in the design on?
Yeah. It's a beautiful space to work in. It's naturally lit, so we don't have the lights on most of the day. It's naturally ventilated. It's very quiet, beautiful space. And we had the benefit of having built another building for ourselves before, so we're able to come forward this time and bring all of that knowledge to make a space that was very customised for how we work. So it really reflects who we are as a company, how we work, and who we want to be in the future.
And I had to keep my previous conversation with you rather shorter than I would normally do, because I did obviously know that this was on the horizon. Is there anyone that you'd like to particularly acknowledge or thank who was involved in this project?
It's really, in addition to the people that I thanked earlier, it's to probably say that it was great for our whole team to be involved with the project. They came on board with the journey. It meant moving to a new suburb. And I feel like everybody embraced the change, and I'm really delighted to have that. And there's also just a bunch of very special contractors who worked on the job that really embraced it and inspired me, and left the project feeling enriched by it and saying that they hope to do more of that in the future. And I found that super rewarding on the project, not just getting to know them, but also having created this opportunity where they could bring their skills to another level. It was just amazing for us.
Oh, wonderful. Well, William, congratulations to you, your team, and obviously everyone who is involved, including those contractors, once again. And now I will let you go and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very much. We're very happy.
We are Blacket Prize, and this is the New South Wales Architecture Awards.
Thanks for that shout out, Bates Smart. Moving on to interior architecture, where there are 13 projects on the shortlist. Let's take a look. MB Apartment by Boki Grant Architects. Yallamundi Rooms at the Sydney Opera House by Tonkin Zuleika Greer Architects. Carpe Diem Companionway by Collins and Turner with Gaia. Arbitus by Smart Design Studio. Smart Design Studio by Smart Design Studio. Judith Neilson Institute for Journalism and Ideas by Zahns. Contemplation House by Virginia Kerridge Architect. Porous House by Possible Studio. Publicers Group at Workshop by Bates Smart. Barker College Rosewood Centre by Neeson Murcutt and Neil. Australian Museum Project Discover by Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. Balmoral House by Madeline Blanchfield Architects, and Fronte Oceano by Anthony St John Parsons. Well, what a category. We have several announcements ahead of us. The jury have awarded 5 commendations, 2 awards and the named award. The commendations for interior architecture are awarded to Barker College Rosewood Centre by Neeson Murcutt and Neil, Yallamundi Rooms at the Sydney Opera House by Tonkin Zilaka Greer Architects, Arbitus by Smart Design Studio, Porous House by Possible Studio, and Contemplation House by Virginia Kerridge Architect. Congratulations to all the commendation recipients for interior architecture. Well, an award in this category goes to Smart Design Studio, once again by Smart Design Studio. Conviction and clarity of planning allows a design almost entirely free of doors, yet still defines spaces and purpose without compromise. The freedom of passage and movement is enhanced with spaces that are top-lit to celebrate the section from the Sawtooth Warehouse to the parabolic masonry arches of the apartment. Congratulations to the team at Smart Design Studio again. The jury have also given an award for interior architecture to Carpe Diem Companionway by Collins and Turner with Gaia. Holding the harbourside corner of Barangaroo Tower, Carpe Diem entices visitors and occupants to share a moment with the view from levels 30 to 31. Fundamental to the project was the resolution of complex structural changes required to remove concrete slabs, floor beams, and support the facade and level of the building above. The structural design inserted to manage this feat is so expertly detailed it disappears from view, accentuating the perception of the companionway platforms levitating against the harbour view. Congratulations, Collins and Turner and Gaia. And the highest honour in this category, the John Verge Award for Interior Architecture, goes to Australian Museum Project Discover by Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. The ability to create more with less is the epitome of a restrained approach that delivers the clarity required to rationalise an incredibly complex project. The concept of restraint is sophisticated and humble, as it acknowledges that previous alterations and revisions needed to be stripped back to the essence of an earlier vision of the museum, and not a new version of the same thinking. Project Discover introduces few new materials, instead drawing on the existing material palette and recycling old materials, such as brass balustrades as wayfinding signage. The interior response celebrates the building's historic fabric and injects a new life and energy. Congratulations, Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. And I'm joined once again by Rachel Neeson and Stephen Neil. Congratulations once again. Sorry to drag you back to the computer screen.
Thank you.
It is an honour to be here. And we speak in unison with our teams.
Excellent. Now, you may have wondered why I didn't mention this in our earlier cross. Obviously, I knew this was about to happen. So great to be able to talk about this project, having spoken with Joe Aegis from Cox already. Now, I know that your practice has had a long association with the museum, Rachel. I believe you won the Public Architecture Award, was it 5 years ago, I think, for Crystal Hall?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So can you give us a sense of this terrific working relationship you have with the museum and how it's played out with the interiors of this project?
Well, I mean, I think for starters, I'm a bit of a sucker for a drawer full of butterflies. I just so it's great fun to work with this museum. But, this Project Discover's really sort of unlocked Crystal Hall in a way. It's given it a really beautiful sort of fluidity that leads through into the museum proper, and where the Crystal Hall feels like you're under sort of the shade of trees. Really, it's a very light space. You then go into the sort of dark space of the Parks Farmer building, and then into the sort of sort of medium light quality, I guess, of the new civic space, which is the Hinsey Hall in the centre. So it sort of pervades the whole interior strategy, if you like.
And the jury made specific reference to the complexity that was involved in this project. Can you talk us through how you've addressed that, perhaps with Cox, in terms of the interior work here?
Yeah, actually, it's a huge team. So it's a team not only of architects, but also we had the structural engineer for the 1988 building. That was pretty handy, I must say. Wonderful signage consultant, terrific, fire consultants that really, and also artefact museum consultant who really helped us work through the sort of queuing strategies for the museum. So really, our role has been, together with Joe and the team, has been one of almost curating all those elements together to try and get something that feels almost effortless in the end. Really just, I guess, stripping back to the bones and then adding just a couple of extra layers to make the place feel inviting and welcoming and strong.
And we heard from Joe that your client is watching the stream tonight. Do you have a message that you'd like to shout out to them?
Oh, thank him and all the team at the Australian Museum. It's been Greg Murphy and Thomas Klobuchar, and actually the support from Create New South Wales has been wonderful. Also, not on the client side, but Peter Phillips, our heritage architect, really heritage architect on call throughout this project. But thank you to the museum. It's been a really wonderful privilege, and we've loved working with you.
Wonderful. Oh, well, look, thanks so much for coming out and having another chat with us tonight. I'll let you go now and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Moving on to urban design, supported by the Institute's national supporting partner, NBS. And I'd like to hand over to Eva Dixon to introduce the nominees in this category.
Thanks, Viv. Hi, everyone. Congratulations to all of those that have entered. NBS is a connected information platform that powers construction. Our mission is to use technology to make the built environment more effective for everyone. We're delighted to be supporting these awards and the architectural profession. Best of luck to all the entrants. And now let's take a look at the nominees in the urban design category.
Taronga Zoo African Savannah by Tonkin Zilaka Greer Architects. Gunyama Park Aquatic and Recreation Centre by Andrew Burgess Architects and Grimshaw, with TCL in collaboration with the City of Sydney. Putney Hill Master Plan and Residential Development by Cox Architecture. Subbase Platypus by Lars Nimmo Architects and Aspect Studios. Harbour Diggers Club Redevelopment by Architectus and Croffey and JMD Design. And Wonderland by FJMT. Thanks, Eva, and what a field. The Urban Design Jury have awarded 2 commendations, 1 award and the named award in this category. The commendations for urban design are awarded to Taronga Zoo African Savannah by Tonkin Zilaka Greer Architects, and Putney Hill Master Plan and Residential Development by Cox Architecture. Congratulations to Tonkin Zilaka Greer and Cox. An award for urban design goes to Harbour Diggers Club Redevelopment by Architectus and Croffey and JMD Design. The ambitious program of this intergenerational community hub includes new club facilities, a seniors living village, childcare, fitness centre, public swimming pool and car park. A singular approach to material selection and architectural detailing is evident across the project, whilst masterful landscape gestures and native planting selections work to present moments of seamlessness with the natural headland. Congratulations to Architectus Croffey and JMD. And the jury have awarded the highest honour in this category, the Lloyd Rees Award for Urban Design, to Sub-Base Platypus by Lars Nimmo Architects and Aspect Studios. The jury applauds this project, which creates strong linkages between the site, neighbouring streets and North Sydney Ferry Wharf. The architecture and landscape team have thoughtfully referenced maritime symbology throughout the project, which includes new parks, picnic and play areas. The integration of naval narrative strongly engages the visitor into the site to reveal its unique character and history, while well-executed layers of crisp contemporary forms and materiality complement this to provide successful wayfinding across the precinct. Congratulations, Lars Nimmo Architects and Aspect Studios. And I'm joined now by Andrew Nimmo and Annabelle Lars. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Excellent. Now, what a site. Can you give us a sense of, I guess, the complexity surrounding this project, which the jury mentioned briefly in the citation we've just heard?
Well, a project like this, I mean, the great thing about it is these sort of buildings could have just been bulldozed. I mean, they're not extraordinary buildings in themselves, but the industrial heritage is about the context that they have together, the layers of history that have come together, and the fact that the Trust have decided to keep them, to look for a new use, adaptive reuse of them. That's what's wonderful about them. And we've just been trying to make that happen in the work we've done.
Well, you certainly have, and congratulations also on receiving the award for heritage at the very beginning of the awards tonight. Well done on that score as well. Now, this was a project, I understand, that was undertaken in partnership with Aspect Studios?
Yes, so Aspect Studios were an important part of the group. We did the master plan with them to begin with, and then we worked with them throughout the project. So it's important to acknowledge them as integral collaborators right throughout the project. The other thing I think we need to give a shout out to the Trust, Sydney Harbour Federation Trust, great client. They've got so many important sites across Sydney to look after, and they get a hard time from a lot of people because they have to combine heritage and public access and commercial reality. And I actually think in the reality they do it very, very well. I also need to acknowledge just the Lars Nimmo crowd.
Shout out to Hugo Cottier.
Associate Director Hugo Cottier.
Jemima Manton.
And Jemima Manton.
All in their separate living rooms.
And they lived this project for many years and saw it right through to the end. So well done, guys. I hope you're watching.
And what does it mean to the team to receive this award tonight? Can you give us a sense of that? I know everyone's in their own lounge rooms watching it on screens.
I think it's an immense honour and privilege, and I think everyone's fairly stoked. We'd be more stoked if we were all together, but
yeah, it's a shame. We were hoping to have a big get together with our clients, with Aspect Studios and the whole team, but lockdown is meant we can't do that. But we've had them on Zoom all night, so they're with us in spirit. And I think also in terms of, urban design is something we're very passionate about in our work, that it's not just about the buildings and the objects, it's about, we've got a little friend behind us, it's also about the relationship between the buildings. And I actually think that's what's really important about architecture, about bringing it alive.
But I think the thing I would say is that a project like this is a team effort. The Trust, our consultant team, working with landscape architects, working with structural engineers, it all really comes together to bring the project together. And when you look at that project, if you visit it, it's on so many different levels.
Well, let's hope we can all go and enjoy it in the not too distant future. And thank you so much for joining us to give us a bit of an insight into what it was like to work on. And I might now let you get back and enjoy the celebrations, even if they are via Zoom, with the rest of your team now.
Okay, bye-bye.
And we will be back very shortly after these messages from the award sponsors.
The future of construction is digital.
Data is transforming our lives, our work, and the way we create. Get ready to digitise and embrace the future together. NBS.
For more than 130 years, Bosch has designed products that spark enthusiasm, improve quality of life, and help conserve natural resources. We have built our reputation on design, quality, reliability, trust, and sustainability. In short, we want to create technology that is invented for life. With more than 200 international design awards attained over the past 5 years, Bosch is the clear leader in home appliances. Outstanding design requires both great form and function. For home appliances, invented for life means giving people peace of mind for their daily life at home.
The Built Environment Channel is a media platform to support the architecture and construction industry.
It means that we can connect with a whole lot of people outside our office, all around the world, all day, anytime.
You receive a premium screen which silently broadcasts your work, inspiring examples of great design and important industry news. All of this is at no cost to you.
For us, it's really about no more scrolling through endless content. It's literally front and centre for everyone here at K2LD.
Now you can easily bring your projects to life with Dulux BIM Solutions. Dulux BIM Solutions provides easy-to-use BIM content, so you can add Dulux colours and product ranges to your Revit and ArchiCAD models quickly and simply. The latest Dulux BIM content update now includes the Dulux World of Colour and product ranges from Dulux powder coatings, protective coatings, Acrotex and Intergrain timber finishes. Dulux BIM Solutions, inspiring creativity.
And now, moving on to the residential architecture categories, and we'll begin with multiple housing. Let's take a look at the shortlisted projects. Fern Passive House Apartments by Steele Associates Architects. Foamcrest Apartments by Richard Cole Architecture. View by Fuse Architects. Pippi by Smart Design Studio. Landaf Street Apartments by Hill Thallas Architecture and Urban Projects with McGregor Westlake Architects. Terracotta by Bennett Murata Architects. The Abbey by AJH Plus. Waterfall by SJB. 249 Darlinghurst Road, also by SJB. Newmarket Eastern Precinct by Bates Smart and Smart Design Studio. Harbord Diggers Club Redevelopment by Architectus and Croffey and JMD Design. Darling Square North by Zahns. Wonderland by FJMT. Infinity by Koichi Takada Architects. Boundary Street Apartments by Bureau SRH. Pavilions by BVN in collaboration with Mervac Design. Arcadia by DKO Architecture with Breathe Architecture and Oculus. And Loom by SJB. Well, the jury had their work cut out for them with 18 shortlisted projects in this category, and they've awarded 4 commendations, 2 awards and the named award. The commendations for multiple housing are awarded to 249 Darlinghurst Road by SJB, Foamcrest Apartments by Richard Cole Architecture, Terracotta by Bennett Murata Architects, and Landaf Street Apartments by Hill Thallas Architecture and Urban Projects with McGregor Westlake Architects. Congratulations to all of the commendation recipients. The first award in this category goes to Arcadia by DKO Architecture with Breathe Architecture and Oculus. Founded on the 3 design principles of community, environment and architecture, Arcadia delivers a truly unique response to all 3. The project exemplifies the idea of community within modern, multi-residential living through the inclusion of extensive and generously landscaped shared rooftop gardens with integrated vegetable gardens for the residents. Congratulations to the project teams. And the jury have also given an award for multiple housing to Harbour Diggers Club Redevelopment by Architectus and Croffey and JMD Design. Harbour Diggers takes on a range of complex programmatic, social and siting challenges, integrates them and delivers a deceptively simple and successful outcome. The project is an exemplar of what the future of the New South Wales Club as a more diverse community hub could be, while providing options for residents to age in place, embedded in the wider community and enjoying health and lifestyle services. Congratulations once again to the team. And the Aaron Below Award for Residential Architecture, Multiple Housing, the highest honour in this category, goes to Newmarket Eastern Precinct by Bates Smart and Smart Design Studio. Both in the design and the process, Newmarket is exemplary in showing how we might live well in the city. Significantly, the project provides a public domain, adding amenity to the local area rather than focusing on privatised amenities and inaccessible courtyards. Ground floor units activate new public lanes introduced by the designers. Architecturally, in both groups of buildings, the internal planning optimises outlook, has generous light-filled circulation and balconies that often extend and enrich the internal spatial arrangements, while the detailing is refined and a select palette of simple materials provides a harmonious diversity. Congratulations, Bates Smart and Smart Design Studio. And I'm delighted to say that we have both of the project teams on the line joining me live now. Matthew Allen from Bates Smart and, of course, no stranger to the show, William Smart from Smart Design Studio. Congratulations to you both.
Thanks, Viv. Congratulations, William. Wow, it seems so odd to be celebrating such an honour in isolation, a project which just had so many contributors to not be able to celebrate with all of them. It's a real shame, but an honour nonetheless.
Oh, well, and look, congratulations to Bates Smart for your several awards already this evening, to you and the team, Matthew. And I might just start with you, if I may. The jury have made specific mention in their citation there to the client and their support of the design process with this project. Can you give us some insights into that, a bit of background?
Yeah, it's been a real privilege to be working with CBus Property for 6 years now, I think, on this project. And the legacy of the project goes long before them. The Inglis family owned the site for over 100 years prior to that, invested so much time and energy into it. So our involvement was really just the next step in the chain of a long legacy of people contributing to make an amazing place.
And William, if I can go to you now, this obviously is a partnership between your practice and Bates Smart. Can you tell us how that played out?
Yeah, I'd really like to say thank you to Bates Smart for generating such an amazing master plan. At the core of it is ideas of sustainability and inclusivity, and the public domain is incredibly generous. So nearly all of the ground floor for the whole site is given over to gardens, squares, retail and public activation. That's kind of amazing. And then after that, we worked really alongside each other in a really harmonious way and really enjoyed delivering a series of buildings over this site over many years, and had one builder also for that project that worked incredibly well. Janelle did an amazing job on the project.
Excellent. And Matthew, if I can go back to you, this seems to be obviously a transformative project and an often challenging typology. What do you hope the long-term legacy will be for this precinct?
Well, I think the legacy really is in the public domain, and just thinking about the other people to thank there, the project wouldn't be what it is without the contribution of Arcadia Landscape Architecture. Alex and Mike and the team there just did an incredible job. The public park at the heart of the precinct is what's made it so loved by the local population. And the retail precinct was really enhanced by an intervention created by HDR and UAP with point of view lighting, an incredible canopy that kind of anchors the whole space. I think it's really those public spaces that make it more than just an apartment building.
And William, to wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to add to Matthew's comments there?
I mean, it's been, like, I think that the generousness of the project has been really fulfilling. So CBUS were saying to us, let's go over and above the standard and let's make something really magic. That's quite nice. I also feel really encouraged that we've had some clients that have wanted to embrace some innovation on the project and to support us, and without that it wouldn't be what it is today.
Well, congratulations to you both. Lovely to be able to bring you both together in this rather strange format, but always good to have a chat. And I'll let you now go and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks, Viv.
What do I have to say?
Coffee.
Hi.
We're coffee.
We're coffee, and you're watching the New South Wales Architecture.
Just like that.
Okay.
Hi, we're coffee.
Coffee. Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee, and you're watching the New South
Wales Architecture Awards.
Architecture Awards.
Thanks for that message, Croffy. Love the surfboard. And now on to residential architecture, alterations and additions. Let's take a look at the projects in the running. Birchgrove House by Tonkin Zuleika Greer Architects. House in Newtown by Architect George. Mick and Caro's House by Virginia Kerridge Architect. Villa Villaculla, also by Virginia Kerridge Architect. SRG House by Fox Johnston. Drill Hall House by Tobias Partners. Queen's Park House by Kyra Thomas Architects. Lena by Smart Design Studio. Arbitus, also by Smart Design Studio. House Fit by Panov Scott Architects. Smash Repair House by Matt Elkin Architect. Concrete Blonde by Carter Williamson. The Hat Factory by Welsh and Major Architects. And Riley's Terrace by Adele McNabb Architects. Well, from the field of 14 projects on the shortlist, the jury have awarded 3 commendations, 4 awards and the named award. The commendations for residential architecture, alterations and additions are awarded to Smash Repair House by Matt Elkin Architect. Villa Villaculla by Virginia Kerridge Architect. And House Fit by Panov Scott Architects. Congratulations once again to all of the commendation recipients. An award for residential architecture, alterations and additions goes to Birchgrove House by Tonkin Zuleika Greer Architects. Occupying a site with a number of level changes, the architects have reconciled a challenging topography to accommodate a highly adaptable residence that is intrinsically linked with its landscape. Birchgrove House is a composition of innovative spatial sequencing with an exquisite level of fine-grained detailing and applied craft, resulting in a residence that celebrates old and new alike. Congratulations once again to the team at Tonkin Zuleika Greer. The second award for alterations and additions goes to SRG House by Fox Johnston. Originally designed as a home for Sir Roy grounds in 1972, SRG House sits as one half of a semi-detached home on the harbour in Balmain. Research into the original materiality of the house produced an updated and sympathetic palette of textures and tones, creating a rich and warm interior, and the jury commends the architect for successfully reinterpreting and respecting the architectural heritage of the original design into an open and warm family home. Congratulations, Fox Johnston. And the jury have also given an award in this category to Riley's Terrace by Adele McNabb Architects. This is an example of the successful balance between a tight inner city site, modest budget and desire for maximised flexible space. Through inventiveness, adaptability and a strong understanding of the site, the architect has delivered a small and beautiful home for herself and her family. Resourcefulness, restraint and an inventive exploration of spatial quality make Riley's Terrace an exemplary, innovative, small home. Congratulations, Adele McNabb Architects. And the fourth award for alterations and additions goes to Lena by Smart Design Studio. Lena demonstrates what can be achieved with fastidious attention to detail, coupled with a strong sense of clarity and purpose, presenting an expression of confident restraint alongside the grandeur of a large Victorian terrace. The atmosphere is calm and considered, with a muted material palette that integrates contemporary and traditional elements and transforms Lena into an elegant and highly functional home. And a very big night for Smart Design Studio. And the Hugh and Eva Burek Award for Residential Architecture, Houses, Alterations and Additions goes to The Hat Factory by Welsh and Major Architects. The Hat Factory is an outstanding example of adaptive reuse of a dilapidated warehouse that has played a diverse role in the industrial and social life of the area. In addressing a brief to retain as much of the original building fabric as possible and to allow for changing client needs in the future, the architects have achieved a richly multi-layered experience where the past has been respected as a source of inspiration, but not at the cost of client functionality or aesthetic expectations. The architects are to be congratulated in their attention to detail and the highly effective use of space, which makes this project an exemplar for compact and flexible living in a challenging urban setting. Congratulations, Welsh and Major Architects. And David Welsh joins me now. Congratulations, David.
Thank you so much. It's such a great honour to win this award. We're very happy.
Excellent. Yes, I thought I saw a smile as the announcement was made, which is always good. Now, a great jury citation. They mention the colourful past that this building once had. Can you give us some insights into its backstory?
Yes, I don't know too much about it, but I know that for the last 30-odd years it was a squat, and it was the head of the home of the anarchist movement. It was the home to some fantastic parties by all accounts. Before that, it was a printer's, it was a hat factory, it was a mechanic's. It burnt down, it was rebuilt. It has a very, very colourful history of which we only know a very little part.
Well, a rich and varied history. What fun to work on. Can you give us a sense of what it was like to work with your clients to achieve what they wanted in their brief?
Yeah, and we have to thank them so much, Chris and Anita and their girls, for so wholeheartedly embracing this project. It was a very, very difficult project in that working with such brittle urban fabric, it did take a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of patience and a lot of vision on their part to actually persist and see the project through over the best part of 6 years.
Yes, there must have been quite a lot of complexity involved, I'm imagining.
Yes, there was a lot. And as we unpeeled the fabric to reveal more and more aspects of what was there, we found surprises all the way along as we did that. So it was very much a process of taking things apart, carefully considering them, reassessing them and putting them back together.
And can I ask how the clients have responded to this project, David?
Well, they finally moved in, which is fantastic. And they're, by all accounts, they're absolutely loving living there. So it's actually, there's actually 2 residences there. So there's actually 2 families living there at the moment. So it's a great thing to see them finally living there after something that they've really worked so hard at for such a long period of time.
Oh, wonderful. And anyone that you'd like to acknowledge in particular, David?
Absolutely. We have to, a very big shout out to our associate and the project architect, Andrew Short, who persevered through the whole process and came up with such a remarkable and wonderful project. Congratulations, Andrew, and congratulations to everyone from our team who worked on the project over the years.
Here, and I can hear your phone pinging, which is probably members of your team or someone congratulating you. So I'll let you get on to responding to those texts and messages. Thanks so much for joining us, David, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you very much. I'm sure I will. Thank you.
The final residential architecture category is Houses New. Let's take a look at the 15 projects that have been shortlisted in this category. Crackenback House by Casey Brown Architecture. Mystery Bay House by Jack Hawkins Architect with Rob Hawkins. Sugarloaf by Ellen Woolley Architects. Contemplation House by Virginia Kerridge Architect. Off-Grid FZ House by Anderson Architecture. Cobargo Santa Project by Breathe. Courtyard House by Croffey. Night Sky by Peter Stutchbury Architecture. Bunkerin by James Stockwell Architect. Pearl Beach House by Polly Harbison Design. Bondi House by Fox Johnston. House Nio, Palm Beach by Durback Block Jaggers Architects. Collins Beach House by Tobias Partners. Federal House by Addition Office. And House at Pretty Beach by Lars Nimmo Architects. Well, another impressive field of projects on the shortlist. And the jury have awarded 5 commendations, 3 awards, and the named award in this category. The commendations for residential architecture Houses New are awarded to Off-Grid FZ House by Anderson Architecture. Mystery Bay House by Jack Hawkins Architect with Rob Hawkins. Cobargo Santa Project by Breathe. House Nio Palm Beach by Durback Block Jaggers Architects. And Contemplation House by Virginia Kerridge Architect. Congratulations to the commendation recipients in this category. And an award for residential architecture Houses New goes to Bunkerin by James Stockwell Architect. Situated upon a spectacular east-facing site south of Newcastle, the house grows out of and into the landscape and allows the building elements and vegetation to be unified into an overall composition. In a unique tour de force, cleverly engineered off-form board-marked concrete of high quality is used externally and internally with almost total exclusion of internal finishes. Congratulations, James Stockwell Architect. The jury have also given an award for Houses New to Night Sky by Peter Stutchbury Architecture. This project acts as both home and observatory, the most expressive element, an oculus looking to the Milky Way. Completely off-grid, the house is exquisitely detailed, made from all recycled materials sourced locally. A small, innovative house, Night Sky is inserted into its suburban setting with great sensitivity to its terrain. Congratulations, Peter Stutchbury Architecture. The third award in this category goes to Federal House by Edition Office. Federal House is a thoughtful response to design for the tropical climate, reconfiguring the traditional veranda house. A holiday house with 3 bedrooms, later to become a permanent residence, the main living space at the centre of the house opens onto the enclosed verandas, where the sliding perimeter screens can mediate sun, air, movement and privacy. Congratulations, Edition Office! And the highest honour in this category, the Wilkinson Award for Residential Architecture Houses New, goes to Pearl Beach House by Polly Harbison Design. Siting and configuration of the Pearl Beach House deliver delight, retreat and a fulsome, private appreciation of its bush setting. From afar, the austere tower-like form conceals a finely crafted home. A noteworthy terrace achieves that rare architectural moment, compelling one to pause, relax, exhale and admire. The sense of ease it generates is disarming. Clever configurations, intelligent base materials and the distribution of budget to unexpected areas, such as the off-form concrete roof, deliver a whole that imparts much more than the sum of its elements. Pearl Beach House is a masterful manipulation of the tension between severe, hard materials and finely crafted detailing, and a modestly sized home that engages at a human scale. Congratulations, Polly Harbison Design. And Polly Harbison joins me now. Congratulations, Polly.
Oh, thank you.
Well, firstly, how does it feel?
Fantastic, thank you. No, I'm very, just a big group of really lovely projects and completely honoured to be considered to be amongst them. Really, really excited.
Yes, it certainly is a hotly contested field, this category, and the Wilkinson Award, of course, extremely prestigious and a great honour, so congratulations. Now, a great client is often at the heart of a project like this. Can you give us a sense of the client's brief and what they were hoping you'd help them to achieve here?
Absolutely. The clients for this project, they just had this fantastic design ambition, and more importantly, they really gave us as designers and also the really fantastic consultants that we collaborated with such freedom and respect to really do our craft. And I think that's why this house kind of hits above its budget, and it's a brief in some ways, was that trust that they embodied in us. And I just have to say, they sent me the most beautiful text earlier, and they said, good luck, but we're doing lockdown here at Pearl Beach at the moment, and to us, already you are the winner. And I thought that was just such a lovely little text that they shared with us, and certainly that is always the most rewarding thing for designers, to have clients who really appreciate what you do for them.
Oh, so true, Polly. Do you want to give a shout out to the clients, or do you have a message for them if they're watching?
I'm not sure that they are, but Carla, remember, this absolute one is absolutely for you and your fantastic design ambition and patience to really wait for the great builders. Brad Patterson, who they're just incredible craftsmen, and they had the patience to wait for them to be available to build the house. And Carl was even there. He laid a lot of those bricks himself. So it's absolutely, they were embodied in this project.
Oh, wow. And Polly, can you give us a sense of, what you loved about working on this particular project?
It was a really fun project to work on because the clients really wanted us to do our best work, and we did. We collaborated with Brad Patterson, who I've worked with before, and they're just fantastic craftspeople. And then we also had Michael Cook, who is a complete expert in kind of native coastal gardens. We worked with Aaron and Pike, who helped a bit on the interiors, who I've worked with before. And so I just got to work with these fantastic people, my friends and colleagues at Trias, who helped along the way as well, and just working with fun people. I think everyone got carried away with the clients' ambitions on this one, and so we had a really good time building the building.
Oh, excellent. And you've named a few people there who you've acknowledged. Is there anyone else you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just, I guess, within the team, I think anyone who's sort of students and graduates who have passed through my studio in the last couple of years, we've all touched this project. But a special shout out to Ron Woods, who really was my wingman on this one.
Lovely. All right. Well, Polly, on that note, congratulations once again, and I'll leave you now to enjoy the rest of your night.
Great, I really appreciate it. And thank you to the jury as well. I'm just really excited that they obviously got to experience the house and enjoyed it as much as we do. Thanks.
We are Fender Capsule Leaders, and you are watching the New South Wales Architecture Awards.
Thanks to the team at Fender Katsulides for that shout out there. And now to the final main awards category of the evening, public architecture. Let's take a look at the 9 projects in the running. Maitland Regional Athletics Complex by Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. Gunyama Park Aquatic and Recreation Centre by Andrew Burgess Architects and Grimshaw with TCL in collaboration with the City of Sydney. Sydney Theatre Company by Hassel. The Women's College Sybil Centre by M3 Architecture. Rocky Hill Memorial Museum by Crone with Urbis. Chowchak Wing Museum by JPW. Harbord Diggers Club Redevelopment by Architectus and Croffey and JMD Design. Australian Museum Project Discover by Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. And Coogee Surf Lifesaving Club by Alan Jack and Cottier. And the Public Architecture Jury have awarded 1 commendation, 2 awards, and the named award in this category, the Sulman Medal, the oldest Australian Architecture Award, which has been awarded by the New South Wales chapter since 1932. A commendation for public architecture is awarded to Rocky Hill Memorial Museum by Crone with Urbis. Congratulations, Crone and Urbis. An award for public architecture goes to Gunyama Park Aquatic and Recreation Centre by Andrew Burgess Architects and Grimshaw with TCL in collaboration with the City of Sydney. Gunyama Park Aquatic and Recreational Centre reinvigorates the public pool typology, drawing from the civic and landscape tradition of Sydney's coastal pools to celebrate the pleasures of swimming for all. In and around the pool and swimming concourse, a rich dialogue between sinuous landscape forms, changing spaces, micro-buildings and interstitial spaces creates a variety of opportunities for relaxation, recreation and socialisation by the centre's users, making it not simply an aquatic centre, but a place where the community congregates and connects. Congratulations once again to the project team. And the jury have also given an award for public architecture to Maitland Regional Athletics Complex by Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. This is a worthy addition to the stock of remarkable heritage buildings and growing collection of exceptional new buildings in the riverside city of Maitland. The heroic single cantilever to the grandstand roof, supported by thoughtful detailing, provides a seating arena with unimpeded views of the track. Careful considerations, such as locating the canteen with sightlines to the finish line, ensures that this civic facility provides a memorable experience for staff and volunteers, competitors and spectators, and the entire community. Congratulations once again to the team. Second award of the night, well done. And now, the highest honour in the category of public architecture, the prestigious Sulman Medal, goes to Sydney Theatre Company by Hassel. The combination of the Sydney Theatre Company's vision and the architect's aspirations has delivered an admirable outcome. Retention of spaces and experiences etched into the memory of Sydney-siders, from the iconic walkway running the length of the wharf to the harbourside bar, are accompanied by upgraded theatres, administration and back-of-house spaces, all of which allow continued appreciation of the robust structure, form and materiality of the original Finger Wharf. Most significantly, the Wharf Renewal Project has delivered flexible theatre spaces, allowing more creative freedom for future productions, their creators and the audiences, extending the life and significance of this building as the home for this remarkable organisation for decades to come. Congratulations, Hassell. And I'm delighted to now be joined by Glenn Scott from Hassell. Glenn, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you so very much. We are super humbled. It was really an extraordinary field of projects. So, yes, we are unbelievably happy and humbled by this honour. Thank you.
Oh, look, excellent. And, you're obviously an international specialist when it comes to designing public spaces, particularly for sports and entertainment. Can I ask, what did you and your team find most rewarding about working on this particular project?
It was working with the Sydney Theatre Company themselves. Patrick McIntyre there and Jono were amazing people to work with, an extraordinary client. It was an 8-year journey with STC and Hassell together over the life of this project. And it's one of those rare opportunities where you get to be a part of something that is so iconic as part of Sydney and its history and its cultural fabric. And with it, it's like an extraordinary responsibility that you feel the weight of being a part of that.
And have you got a sense from STC about the impact that this is going to have on the company going forward?
They are delighted with the outcome, and I'm very sure they'll be delighted to have this recognition as well. They love the Wharf, they love being there, and we're just so happy to be able to help them stay there and set them up for the next 30 years, looking forward into the future. So yes, they're delighted, and they started shows again this year at the end of COVID. Unfortunately, we're in the lockdown again at the moment, but they are really loving it, and it's been a huge change to their life and the way they're working there.
Well, fingers crossed it's not too long till we're all back there and able to start going to shows again. Now, Glenn, is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge or thank who was involved in this project?
The list is very long after 8 years. I would definitely like to thank Patrick and Jono from the Sydney Theatre Company and the help and the support that they helped us see this project through. The entire Hassell team, which it's too large to actually talk through. The consultants that we worked with, the contractor, which was Richard Crooks, who we collaborated with on a daily basis to see this project through. It's not easy working on a 100-year-old timber wharf, but I'd particularly like to thank Julian, our site architect, who quite literally lived and breathed this wharf with the builder for 2 years of his life to see it through and love it as the rest of us do.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, Glenn, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Congratulations to you and the team at Hassell once again, and I'll let you go and enjoy the rest of your night.
Great. Thank you very much.
And there are now just 2 more announcements to make tonight, and the first is the Blacket Prize. Established in 1984, this prize is awarded to a project situated in country New South Wales that promotes design excellence in a regional context. I'd like to acknowledge the panel of 9 jurors who have assessed this prize, and they have awarded the 2021 Blacket Prize to Rocky Hill Memorial Museum by Crone with Urbis. Situated close to Goulburn, this project promotes planning and design excellence in a regional context and is a work of outstanding merit. Opened in 2020, the Rocky Hill Memorial Museum extension is a new, purpose-built wing, sensitively inserted into an existing cultural site of remembrance for fallen soldiers of war. The design incorporates bronze mirrored cladding elements to reflect the surrounding landscape, whilst signifying the precinct as a place of reflection, while the textured concrete structure is a contemporary interpretation of the Memorial Tower. Congratulations, Crone with Urbis. And Ashley Dennis from Crone joins me now. Ashley, congratulations.
Thank you, Viv. All of a sudden, my cup of tea doesn't cut it for me.
No, you need a bottle of bubbly or something on standby there. Well, look, congratulations on receiving the Blacket Prize to you and Urbis, your project partners. Now, a fantastic project here. Can you give us a sense of what council were hoping you could achieve for this project?
Well, I think that's the key, in that Goulburn Council really left it to us to tell them what we thought the vision could be, and then they just made it so much better working with the team there, and obviously with the contractors, Van Mel Group. I think everyone who touched this project internally at Crone and all of our collaborators did make it better, and it was a long process, and sometimes that time for things to get better is good, even if we had to wait 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years. It's quite a long time. And I understand you've described this as a unique project to work on. What made it so different?
Look, I mean, I think working in kind of having this this dual role between a commercial practice and being able to work on amazing local government and regional projects is unique in itself. But I think it's more kind of what I was hinting at before, where everyone comes along for the ride, and it's got to be mentioned that this museum is the heart and soul of this museum are the volunteers who run it day to day, and they're the ones who continue the sort of Anzac legacy of Goulburn and tell the stories and let those live on. And so the design was really centred around facilitating that and allowing the volunteers and the sort of skeleton staff up on the museum to run the museum how they want to do it.
And Ashley, have you had a sense from those volunteers about, well, how they're enjoying the space and how visitors are responding to it?
Yeah, I mean, the feedback has been incredible. Obviously, it opened at a pretty difficult time, but they have had record numbers through the museum. And I mean, I think sort of all the regional projects tonight, Maitland and Albury and Goulburn, it makes for a great road trip once we're all unleashed.
Sure does. That's a great idea. I like that. Regional Architectural Tour of New South Wales. Take note, New South Wales chapter. Now, Ashley, before I let you go, is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge or thank in particular who was integral to this project?
Yeah, look, I've already mentioned the team at Goulburn and Sarah and Adam and Kerry and others, Van Mal, and then internally within the collaborative team, Urbis, Landscape, JN Engineers, particularly within Crone, sort of the core team, Snigdho Datta, the project architect, and then a mentor of mine in Niall Durney, who sort of helped me champion this project and also made it better in the early days, Franco and Ray. So there's more, but that's the core team.
Excellent. Oh, well, look, thank you so much for joining us, Ashley. Congratulations to you and everyone involved once again.
Thanks, Viv.
And we are going to be back very shortly with the announcement of the New South Wales Architecture Medallion after this very quick group of messages from the awards sponsors.
For more than 40 years, Plan Cover has been committed to assisting architects to identify and manage the varied and complex risks which they encounter in professional practice. From the placement of insurance and the provision of technical advice, through to our innovative risk management program, we are dedicated to supporting our architects. Planned Cover, owned by the Institute, protecting the profession.
Hi, we're Hustle,
and you're watching the
New South Wales
Architecture
Awards.
And that brings us to the final award of the night, the announcement of the New South Wales Architecture Medallion. The highest honour awarded by the New South Wales chapter, the New South Wales Architecture Medallion, is selected by the jury chairs from the field of named award winners across all of the awards categories. And without any further ado, the jury have awarded the 2021 New South Wales Architecture Medallion to Australian Museum Project Discover by Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. This project creates a singular civic space, and the design prioritises changes that will sustain the museum into the long term. It reveals and celebrates the museum's rich historic layering, creates legibility of movement, enables universal public access throughout, and enhances the museum's engagement with William Street. The result is a new civic space for Sydney, where visitors enjoy the architecture alongside the exhibitions. Congratulations once again to the project team, Cox Architecture with Neeson Murcutt and Neil. And I'm absolutely delighted to be able to bring the teams together for our final live cross of the night. I'm joined once again by Joe Aegis from Cox and, of course, Rachel Neeson and Stephen Neal. Look, congratulations to you all.
Thank you. Hi, Joe. I have to say, you really feel isolation at this moment when you just want to be with your teams.
Certainly do. Well, we are catching up very shortly via Zoom with the entire team, so definitely looking forward to that.
Yes, excellent. Well, I do apologise for the rather strange nature. It looks a bit Brady Bunch for me with this screen here, but onwards and sideways, as I like to say. Now, Joe, I might start with you. We've spoken to you already about this project. What would you like to add on receiving the Architecture Medallion this evening?
Well, firstly, it's extraordinarily humbling, and one only has to reflect on all the incredible projects that we've just seen, not just named award winners or indeed award winners, but even the commendations. And I'm sure there are others that didn't make an appearance. And to me, it just speaks of the extraordinary depth of talent and richness in this city and state with our, architectural community. We really do have something to celebrate here and to acknowledge. So congratulations to everyone that's participated in an extraordinary array of incredible projects.
Thank you, Joe. And over to Rachel and Stephen. Do you have any comments that you'd like to add?
I'd like to add, it's such an effort to make any work of architecture, let alone something we're really significantly happy with, and the Australian Museum was definitely that. We'd like to really thank, Mark Davey, Joe Grett, Nick Gonzalez, Ben Dixon, Leanne Mitchell, and Hannah Slater, who really, and Chris Tran, who really put so much effort into this project. We give away so much to try and make it, and these people just help make it. I'd like to say, the Australian Museum is really an incredible cultural institution in our city. It employs over 100 scientists researching on climate change. It actively engages reconciliation. It's got the largest collection of natural history specimens in Australia, and it's free. And so I invite everyone to visit.
And can I add, Rachel, the Unsettled exhibition that is on at the moment. I'd encourage everyone, as architects to some extent, I think we're obligated to look at this exhibition because it tells a very strong and important story that we all really need to deeply understand. So I'd encourage you to visit that exhibition and experience the building, of course, at the same time.
Good advice there from Joe. Well, before I let you go and enjoy a Zoom celebration with your respective teams, any final comments?
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Joe.
Can I just reinforce what Stephen said in regard to our shared team? An extraordinary group of people that have really extended themselves and us in achieving this outcome. And then to some extent, as I mentioned earlier, this has been an extraordinarily positive collaboration between the practices, and it has been extraordinarily enjoyable and fun and hardworking, obviously working with Rachel and Steve. So thank you very much for the opportunity to work with you two guys and your team.
And Rachel and Stephen, over to you for some final comments.
We're just so proud to make a civic project for Sydney, for its citizens, for everyone to visit. It's really an honour to be able to work on something like that.
And as all architects know, there's a lot in the builder's effort, and so we'd really like to thank Kane Constructions and particularly Thomas Taylor and Les Moore. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. Congratulations to everyone involved once again, and have a great night.
We will. Thank you.
We are. Thank you.
And that brings the New South Wales Architecture Awards to a close, almost. But first, a few words from the New South Wales Chapter State Manager, Kate Concannon.
Thanks, Viv. What a show of design excellence we've been treated to tonight. Not least the New South Wales medallion winning project behind me, the Australian Museum Discovery Centre by Neeson, Merkert and Neil, which is in fact where we are very excited to be celebrating member achievements for 2021 later this year, including celebrating the awards. So look out for further info about this gala event. Congratulations to all our winners on your fine achievement and for your wonderful contribution to the fabric of our built environment. Before we leave you to enjoy your lockdown take on post-award celebrations, I want to make some quick but very important thank yous. Firstly, thank you to our returned Chair of Juries, Peter Moulds, whose sage and patient approach to all things has seen us navigate through the challenges of this huge year for the New South Wales Awards to ensure robustly equitable, considered and safe delivery of the program. Thank you also to our team of jurors who invested their time and expertise so generously throughout the process. Thank you to our entrants for your support for the program, and also to those clients who've opened up their spaces for our jurors to experience in the flesh. Thank you to our chapter president, Laura Cockburn, not least for her deft work negotiating heels on escalators and raucous teenagers while filming her message for tonight. And lastly, I want to say a huge thank you to the Institute staff, in particular my team members Walter Hill and Mel McDonald, who have worked around the clock to wrangle logistical monsters and pivot around flood and pandemic to pull off the bumper scale 2021 program for New South Wales members. Again, congratulations winners, and good night everybody.
Thanks, Kate. And that brings the announcements to a close. I'd like to congratulate the award recipients tonight, and indeed every practice that entered the 2021 awards program. I'd also like to thank the corporate partners for their support and for being part of the show tonight. And a heads up that entries are now open for the New South Wales Country Division Awards, so keep an eye on the Institute's website for more information. And just a reminder that while tonight is the last of the Institute's State Awards streams, you can tune in next Thursday at 4 p.m. for the Australian International Architecture Awards, an earlier time slot to accommodate multiple time zones, as we'll be crossing to the Institute's members, winners and jurors around the world. In the meantime, thanks for joining me, and I do hope you have a great night.
The 2021 New South Wales Architecture Awards are proudly supported by BlueScope, Dulux, Brickworks, Lysart, Fielders, Bondor, Bosch, Built Environment Channel, NBS, Plant Cover, and Architecture Media.